the example. So the optimum algorithm is saving X, and you're saving Y. And you can prove it. It's a very easy exercise when it's on the slides. Try to prove it without reading the slides. If the algorithm is saving at least X over K, X is what the optimum is saving, okay? Then its performance is not more than 2 minus 1 over K of the optimum. Now, without getting into the proofs here, I want to skip here the proof. Yeah, this is the lemma that I just said. If the algorithm is saving at least X over K, 1 over K of what the optimum is saving, then its performance is like this. Now we can show, it is shown on the slides if you go over the slides, we can show that the algorithm is, okay, so it's saving Y is at least, so not, should be at least X over 2. So the algorithm is saving at least X over 2. That's why the algorithm is at most 3 over 2, because if you plug in K equal 2, you get 1.5. So this is a proof that the algorithm is not more than 1.5 of the optimum. The proof here is a little tricky, but it's a little on the easy side. Now, if you want to go to the upper bound, that the algorithm never uses more than 75%, this is a much more tricky proof. I'm not going to go through the proof. Again, I just put it on the slides if you, for those who might like to see it later, but it can be shown that, okay, this is a last lemma, it can be shown that the algorithm is saving, is using at most 75% of the optimum. As I said, the online algorithms are very simple. To get into the proof, you must need a really full hour to grasp each and every detail of the proof, and I'm not going through it because this was not the main idea of the talk. Okay, so now we finish with the first talk. So even if you miss me now, you can try to join me for the second part, which is short, and then the last part will be a little longer. Now, approximation with grooming, I go back to this problem. And here I just want to give you the idea of how we are using things. You remember the example? The example was, it came from regenerators, but here let me speak only about scheduling. So we have machines, okay? Each machine can handle 2 jobs at the same time, and I have 4 jobs, okay? And if one machine is doing the red jobs and the other machine is doing the blue jobs, the machines are going to be together working 11 plus 15, 26 units of time. Now, on the other hand, if those 2 machines will be red and those 2 machines will be blue, then the machines will work together only 20 units of time. And we want to minimize the length of the times that the machines are going to work. Now, I want to show you. Yeah. Okay. I want to show you. This is a scheduling problem. Now, the jobs, each machine can save at most G jobs at a given time. The goal is to minimize the total busy time of all the machines. Now, this is an exercise for the students. Shows that the problem is difficult. Okay, it's not easy. It's a very difficult proof. It shows that even if G equal 2, the same problems that I showed before, the problem is very difficult. Okay. Now, what I'm going to show you is a very simple algorithm. As I said, most approximation algorithms are very simple. The proof is difficult. I want to show an algorithm, and the performance of the algorithm is between 3 and 4. And I will try to convince you somehow, at some point I will not be too detailed. Okay. Now, the algorithm is very simple. This is the first algorithm that comes into your mind. Okay. I put it on the slides, but okay. Take the jobs. The jobs are given. It's not online. The jobs are given. Solve the jobs. Job 1 is the longest one. Job 2 is the second longest one. Job 3, job 4. Now, greedy. Job 1 goes to machine number 1. Job 2 If I can put it in the machine number 1, I put in machine number 1. If not, I open another machine, machine number 2. And remember, each machine can do at most G jobs at the same time. And then I get the next job, the next job. Each job, I try, can I put it on the first machine? Yes. No. Can I put it on the second machine? Yes. If no, I go to the third machine. That's it. A greedy algorithm. 99 of the scheduling algorithms work this way. Okay? Really. Now, okay. I want to define some things just to explain the proof without details. Okay. If I give you a line interval, okay, the length of the interval, length of I is 5. For example, in this case, okay, this interval goes from 12 to 17. The length of the interval is 5. Now, if I give you a set of intervals, the length of the set is the sum of the lengths of the intervals. So in this case, the jobs are of length 5 plus 10 plus 6 plus 12, altogether 33 units. So the total time for all the jobs is 33 units. Then, what is the span of S? Span of S, okay, here, okay, what's the number here? It's difficult to see over there. 15 years. No. Okay, what is the span of S? You look at all the jobs, they start at number 2, and they end at number 17. So if I put all of them in one machine, it will take from 17 to 2, 15 units of time. Okay, so span is like, if I put all of them in one machine, how much it will take. And we are using these terms in the following way. First, okay, because of the parallelism bound means I cannot process more than G jobs at a time. Now, length of S is the total time of all the jobs together. Since I cannot use more than G jobs on one machine, the optimum time, the times that the machine are going to work must be at least the total work divided by the parallelism. This is like the first bound. Second, of course, span of S. If in the example, if on one machine it will take 15 units of time, then of course all the machines together will work at least 15 units of time, because in each of these units of time at least one job must be processed. So the optimum is at least the span of the set of jobs. Now, with this in mind, okay, here comes the main trick of the proof. Try to prove it, it's a very difficult thing. Okay, if I take Ji, suppose I took the algorithm, and Ji is a set of jobs assigned to machine I. Jobs 1 to machine 1, jobs 2 to machine 2, jobs 3 to machine 3, etc. So you can prove, and this is, if you look at the algorithm, this is the most tricky point, the span of J2. So the time that the machine number 2, span of J2 is the time that machine number 2 was working, is at most 3 times the length of the jobs processed by the previous machine over G. This is a very tricky proof. It will take like 20 minutes to convince you on the board, so try to prove it. And then you do the same for span. The time spent by machine number 3 is at most 3 times the length of the jobs processed by machine number 2 over G and times 3, etc. This is true for all the machines, except for the first machine. So when you sum all of this together, what you get is the span of the set minus J1. So if you don't speak about the first machine, you get 3 times the length of all the jobs when you sum up all of this over G. And it's easy to prove, of course, that the span of the first machine is at most the span of the whole set. And now, when you put these 2 inequalities from the previous slide on what you get here that this is at most 3 times the optimum of the set S, and this is at most 1 times the optimum. So when you add them both together, you get 4 times the optimum. So this is a sketch of the proof. why our algorithm never use more than 4 times, so the machines in our algorithm will never use more than 4 times the time used by the optimal solution. Now, for the lower bound, now I want to show you that our algorithm has a lower bound of 3, and this is a very cute lower bound example. Okay, we have here, all jobs are of the same length. Now, you sort the jobs, so sorting means you put in any order. So I decide the order, because I want to show the lower bound, so I give you, this is first, here G minus 1 jobs, and this is first. This is first, G minus 1 jobs, and this is first. And this is next, etc. So altogether we have G like heads. This is like a head, okay? So we have G heads like this. So what it's difficult to see it, okay. What the algorithm do? The algorithm is going to put this, and all of this, and this in the same machine. Okay, so the first head is going to go on the first machine. No other job can go on the machine because then the machine is going to be too crowded with too many jobs. Then the second machine will process all of these jobs, and the third one all of these jobs. Now what is the idea? The idea is that I force, for example, look at the last machine. Here on this part, the machine is processing only 1 job. Okay, here it could use much more, but it's not. Here, it's processing a lot, G minus 1, which is almost G, okay? And here, again, only 1. So 2/3 of the time, the machine is going to be not useful. Why? So the algorithm is doing so and so. Okay, it's difficult to see the exact numbers. Now, what is the optimum algorithm? The optimum is very easy. All of this, here we have G jobs. All of these G jobs are going to go on machine number 1. 100% utilization of the machine. These G jobs, 1, 2, up to G, because we have G sets, all of these G jobs are going to go on 1 machine. And here you have G minus 1 times G jobs. So each of them, all of them are going to go on exactly G minus 1 machines. So here, the optimum is using 100% utilization. And if you do the calculation, then you can see that the algorithm is using this number, the optimum is using this number, and this number, when M is bigger than G, will be at least 3. So the algorithm, okay, what we showed is an example that the algorithm is forced to do very, very bad, which is at least 3 times what the optimum is doing. So what we show here is that this algorithm that I showed you, the performance is not more than 4 times the optimum, but it can be as bad as 3 times the optimum. Okay? I don't know if this is the best, we don't know if this is the best bound for the problem. This is a lower bound for the algorithm, not for the problem. Maybe the problem is worse. Okay. So this was a short example for the scheduling. Actually, this idea was extended in many scheduling papers by Kuller, Schiller, and Chapman. And again, if someone wants more details, I can send you offline. But this idea that came from optical networks is really, really very much applicable for scheduling ideas. Okay, so now I come to the last part, which is inapproximability, to show you some negative result in terms of these regenerators. If I remember, how much time do I have? Just to.
We are already, 1 hour late. As soon as you can finish, it's okay, no problem. 10 minutes? 5 to 10 minutes?
Okay, 5 to 10 minutes,
Yeah.
okay. So here, the problem is nice. So just sketch the main technique, and within 10 minutes I'll be done. Okay. The problem is the following. And this problem is a real problem that we got from Cisco. Cisco is one of the optical networks hardware producers. So suppose I give you a set of calls in the morning, and suppose a set of calls, blue calls. Now, if I want to satisfy all the calls, okay? If I want to satisfy A and B together, then there is no problem. I put regenerators every third step for the red, and I put the generator every third step on the blue, and I can satisfy all the light bursts, no problem. But now the problem is, really come from Cisco? No. The red calls come in the morning. The blue calls come in the evening. So I can put here 3 generators. In the morning, they will provide regeneration for the red calls that come in the morning, and in the evening they will provide regeneration for the blue calls coming in the evening. This is a very difficult problem, and it turns out what we showed is the following. And this was a very nice paper that we show that, okay, I give you D and P. D, I have to put a regenerator every D steps. P, I give you P sets. 1 o'clock calls for 1 o'clock, calls for 2 o'clock, calls for 3 o'clock. P sets of light paths that I have to use. And I want to place regenerators so that all the traffics in the morning, in the evening, at 1 o'clock, at 2 o'clock, in each of the P sets will be satisfied. And, sorry, yeah, okay. The cost is, of course, I want to use the smallest number of generators. And what is? Now, if you take D equal 1, short exercise for the student, it's a very easy problem. If you take P equal 1, it's a very easy problem. But now, we show, this is our main result. For any D and any P bigger than 1, okay, any dp equal to 1, then this problem does not admit a p-test. You cannot even approximate it. Okay? Okay? And there's some technical terms, depending on the degree of the graph and the length of the path, but this is not so important. Okay, what is a p-test? Okay, a p-test is family of polynomial time algorithms. Okay? Algorithm epsilon, there's a parameter epsilon, and the algorithm epsilon on input I is not more than 1 plus epsilon times the optimal algorithm. And what we show is that you cannot approximate this problem. And it's very difficult. And how do we do it? Just the general idea, because this is a very long paper, and actually in Europe, the main conference is ICALP, and in ICALP, they have 3 sessions, one in logic, one in algorithms, and one in networking. And this was presented in networking, and it got the best paper award, and this is the main result of the paper. So just the idea was, it's very difficult to get technically into the idea, but what we do is vertex cover. You remember I told you in the beginning of the talk about vertex cover. Okay, I want to find number of vertices that cover all the edges. Now, when you do reduction, you want to do NP complete, or you want to prove inapproximability, you don't have to be expert on the theory, but you have to do reductions. So we use the theorem from 2000 that VC, vertex cover, does not admit a p-test. Okay? You cannot have this approximation scheme for vertex cover. So now we show that if you had approximation scheme for our problem, you could find an approximation scheme for vertex cover, and this is impossible. So by reduction you do it, but the techniques are very detailed, and since I was asked to finish within 5-10 minutes, and I take this thing, and maybe I'll just go to the summary thing, okay? So here you have all the details of the reduction. It's a 5-step reduction, which is very non-trivial, but I'll skip it, the details here, and I just go through the yeah, okay. Now, there are many more problems if you really look into this area. First, you can extend many of the results that exist. Okay, I only showed some of them. There are many more parameters that I didn't even mention today. There are more optimization problems that I didn't mention today. There is the issue of routing that I was mentioning before. Here, always I give you the path, but sometimes I give you only the pairs, and you have also to define the path. It's much more complicated. Then there is a technology which allows you to change colors along the way. It brings beautiful problems, but again, I did not touch any of them today. there are many algorithmic techniques like game theory that can get into here, into the game, and again, I was only skipping it, and there is much. So with this, let me sort of say thank you, and if there are questions. It's not related. Now, what I can say, I mentioned at the end problems of scheduling, which related to this. What they did, for example, in one of the papers, they say, okay, the job has length 5, but it can be scheduled within 12 and 10 o'clock. So you have some freedom.
Sure.
Again, they took the parameter and the constraint from scheduling problem. This constraint doesn't have any synonym in optical networks. So, you know, in this area, if you change one parameter slightly, it can take you very interestingly into scheduling, but very not interestingly into optical networks, and vice versa. Okay?
Formally we change.
Yeah. Now about randomization, we didn't do anything randomized here. Okay, randomization, you mean, I guess, for the offline problems, not for the online problems.
Yeah.
Now, in the offline problems, there is a lot of covering result for graph theory in general. That use randomization to improve something, but then it depends if do you want always to get the exact answer, or do you want to get an approximate answer? Again, we get into a completely different area. This is in most of the approximation algorithms, you know, people look at with no probability. You know, I have an algorithm, and the problem is difficult, so I try some heuristics to this and I analyze it. I don't get probability into the game, but you know, it's legitimate to take probability into the game, but then you are in a different field. Let's put it this way. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I have another question. If a machine changes the job from one to other,